Easter morning, 2018, I spent moving out of my home. My husband and I had hit a rough patch in our marriage, and it came to the point where we decided that we needed to live separately. So rather than celebrating Easter, I was packing boxes. We were faced with 3 years of health crisis. I was very sick, had to quit my job, and when health falls apart and you no longer can function, it just kind of impacts everything. And before you know it, it was just trial after trial after trial that all compacted on each other, and we just needed a break. I didn't belong anywhere anymore. I had lost my marriage, I had lost my job, I had lost all my friends. I was just feeling at the bottom of life. I hadn't gone to church since I was old enough to choose not to, so I spent 15 years choosing not to go to church. I guess I felt like I had nothing else to lose. Like I was so at rock bottom in life that it was the last place I had to turn. I went to church the following week for the first time. I think I'd been one time before that in the last 10 years. And that day they talked about Serve Day. I've always enjoyed helping people, and so I was just looking forward to giving back in a place where I felt like I had nothing. So I showed up there, and I lifted one case of vegetables, and I spent the next 45 minutes against a wall bawling, telling a woman that I had never met before what I was going through. I just had nowhere where I belonged. I had no sense of belonging anywhere. And she shared with me what she had been through. She introduced me to a place where I could go to help heal the hurt that I was experiencing. That was Celebrate Recovery on Friday nights. Going to Celebrate Recovery gave me that belonging where there was other people that are also hurting, that are trying to work through things from their past or present, and I just felt safe. I thought I was going to fix my marriage, but what I actually ended up doing was realizing that I had so much baggage from my past that I had never worked through. That's one of the biggest things I've taken away from Celebrate Recovery, is that I have to work on myself and not try to point out other people's problems. My marriage started to come back together when I just put it in God's hands, and rather than being willing to walk away, I just trusted that He was going to work in me, and while He worked in me, I was trusting that He was going to be working in my husband also. We spent quite a few weeks not talking to each other at all, and then we started having small, short conversations. And as those small conversations got a little more comfortable, then we started having deeper conversations. Probably the most meaningful we've had in our whole entire relationship. It's a year later and we're still working on it, but we had to choose to say, we're gonna fight for this, it's not over, or we had to choose to walk away. So we chose to fight for it, no matter what it took. A year ago on Easter, I felt hopeless and broken. I was in a place where I wasn't trusting God. I wasn't healthy in my marriage. I wasn't surrounded by friends or family that were lifting me up. I was just alone. And now I turn to God for everything. I trust that no matter what's going on, His will is the best. I just sit in awe of how much can change in 1 year. God is so big, and last year I was ready to give up, and this year I'm rejoicing in the fact that He can fix anything that's broken.